Never in my 21 years of living on this planet did I ever think I would have to come to muttering the words, I probably should have went to see the animated talking shoe movie instead. Yes! That exists! And yes, I saw Sinners. I loved it. It was fucking awesome!
この街に来て出会った思いを届けられる人たち。違う世界のミクか。呼びかけていた届けたい人たちに。でも私の歌は誰にも届かない。
Colorful Stage the movie, A Miku Who Can't Sing, is the newest film to be released by GKIDS and is based off the popular mobile app game of the same name. I seriously did not know that until I saw the trailer for this movie. You guys might kind of hate me by the end of this, but keep in mind, we're just here to have fun. And in this movie, Shibuya T... I'm pretty positive that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how we're going to because I don't know, we're just gonna pronounce it that way, fuck off. And in this movie, Shibuya teen musician Ichika meets Hatsune Miku after hearing her song in a store. The pair work together to help Miku forge emotional connections through music. Hey, you be thankful that they have the plot synopsis on IMDb like usual, because if you were to just come up to me and ask me to explain the plot of this movie right out the spot, I would just look at you and be like, you're on your own, pal. So, Hatsune Miku, Colorful Stage. I've heard of that. That's a thing that exists. I like bananas. Okay, so yeah, let's get one thing perfectly clear before we get into this movie. My knowledge of both Hatsune Miku and Colorful Stage is almost non-existent. I had, of course, heard of Hatsune Miku before and knew what she looked like, but I never really had an idea of who she was, what she was, or just the fact alone that she came from a video game of some sort. And actually, the way I found out about her was pretty damn funny, because one day I was just walking outside the theater I work at, and I walked past a car that has a sticker of Garfield with blue hair, and he was dressed like Hatsune Miku, but I didn't know who it was at the point. So I went inside and was like talking to one of my managers and one of my coworkers, and I was all like, hey, there's this car outside with a sticker of Garfield dressed like a gamer girl. Again, I didn't know who this was at that point. So then my manager went outside and looked at the same sticker and came back inside and told me who he was dressed as, and I just looked at her like, who? So clearly, I am very much the target audience for this movie. But when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was intrigued at best. I mean, it's a new film from GKIDS, I love supporting their movies, and it's based on an already beloved character, and I thought it would be one of those anime movies where, even if you don't know the property, you would still be able to follow it fine enough. So I went to go see the movie Thursday night, and let me tell you, there are a lot more people in that auditorium than I thought there was going to be, including some cosplayers, because, yeah, what did you expect? And according to a friend of mine that works at the theater I saw this at, this sold the most tickets for any movie showing that day. But Sinners is right there, guys! It's fucking amazing! I love it! Why am I not talking about Sinners? Oh, that's right, because everyone else is going to be talking about Sinners. So as a newcomer to all of this, you're probably wondering how this all turned out for me. Well, I gotta ask one very important question that I need answered immediately. Is this what it was like going to watch the Minecraft movie without any context to the games whatsoever? I'm just going to let you guys know right now that despite this video being called a movie review, I do not know how much of an actual review this is going to be. In my many years of watching movies, and my 2 years of reviewing movies, I have never come across a film that I couldn't in any way, shape, or form explain what happened, or at least something that happened in the entirety of the film's runtime until now. Normally when I say, what the hell did I just watch? I really do mean that, but at the same time, it usually comes with an opinion of some sort. Not this time! This is one of the rarest of rare occasions in which I watched a movie and had no clue at all what on God's green earth I was watching because I couldn't figure out what was going on to save my life! Normally when I go see an anime movie based off a show or something I've never seen before, I can figure out very quickly what's going on, maybe even have a good time with it. When it comes to the Colorful Stage movie though, it actually got to a point where I just had to give up on paying attention because I was so freaking lost and I just accepted my fate that I was watching this. For a majority of this film's runtime, I just sat there brain dead and started staring off into space while some pretty colors flew in front of my face. I'm not even kidding with you guys, it actually got to a point to where I started just laughing ever so quietly to myself because I was so confused to where that's all I could do. The best way I can describe my experience with this movie is like a day of school. I have no idea what anyone is talking about, I do not care, and I just cannot wait for this to be over with because my head hurts. Okay, before you all go off on me, do not take a single thing I say in this video seriously at all, because I am just struggling to explain a movie that I know nothing about, couldn't understand one bit, and I'm just a jackass being another jackass. So without spoiling a single thing, I'm going to try my damnedest to explain some of what I saw and try to get an idea of what I think happened here. So take away the plot I explained earlier, and what I got from this is basically, you got this girl, yes I know, which one? Half the cast is female, this one, I hope that's the right girl, I think so. She's the main one, she is totally the main one, I am positive on that. So anyway, this girl is a songwriter, singer person, and for some reason, I don't know how, she keeps running into Hatsune Miku, who by the way, is not a real person or anything. So what she is, or seems to be, is this little AI girl or something, and she will constantly keep popping out of the main girl's phone to interact with her, or, yeah, she pops out of the phone and is like, "Hi, I'm Hatsune Miku, what's your name?" Okay, that's not exactly what she did. I'm trying, guys. I'm really trying here. And yes, this whole thing of her popping out of people's phones happens constantly throughout the movie to the point where the main girl's friends and some other people catch wind of this. Honest to God, I was really just waiting for a scene in which some guy is just sitting on the toilet there and all of a sudden, like he's just holding his phone, like checking Facebook or something, and it's just like, oh my God, what the fuck? Ah! Hi, don't eat me. And the funniest thing about this aspect of the film is that everyone just seems to be cool with a girl just popping out of their phone out of the blue. Not only has she probably seen some shit by doing this, but you're telling me there is not one son of a bitch who saw this girl pop out of their phone and they immediately chucked it across the room out of straight terror? There is honestly a great setup here for like a low budget horror film or something, especially in one scene where someone throws their phone out of anger, breaking it, and she can still crawl out of the phone. Again, this made no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. I gotta emphasize that. Made no sense to me. But aside from the creepy phone thing, we also find out that the title of this movie is kind of BS because she actually can sing, it's just that she can't gain the audience that she wants. Damn, why does that sound familiar? So from what I've gathered, she gets the main girl and her friends to help her learn to sing and gain a following. Okay. Now this is all starting to make sense to me. Oh wait, no it's not, because immediately as I was barely starting to make sense of all of this, everyone in the real world just gets sucked into all their computers. What drugs did I take before this fucking movie? And I'm not even kidding, when that scene happened, when they all got sucked into their computers, I accidentally said out loud, what the fuck? So when they do get sucked into their computers, there's this thing in the movie called a Seikai, and it's a little virtual world where you can travel to different kinds of stages. And when I say stages, I mean like a stage where you might have like a concert or something. Not like a level or whatever. I think. Do not quote me on that. And FYI, Seikai is the Japanese term for the word stage. I did not find this out until after the movie, because during the movie, every time they said that, I was all like, what the fuck is a Seikai? You are not explaining this! And they constantly kept saying it, and I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about! Oh, and then after they get sucked into the computer world, for some reason, no, I know the reason, I just can't get into spoilers, but they gotta put on a concert for some reason. Okay, so basically that is all I can say without spoiling anything about this movie and making myself to sound like a complete asshole who just has no idea what the hell he's talking about. Because I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about! Seriously, take everything I've said here with a pinch of salt. But despite not understanding any of this, there's actually two things I did like. This comes as a no-brainer, but the animation is beautiful, and it's a gorgeous movie to look at on the big screen, and the big saving grace of the film for me personally was the ending where they do put on the concert. I enjoyed the music, the animation was very fluent, and it did wake me up from my brain-dead coma. If only I could hear half of it, though. Every time I go to the specific theater that I saw this movie at, in Auditorium 13, the speakers behind the screens are always broken. And they have been broken since like late 2022 as to my knowledge. Because I remember seeing, I think it was the menu, and noticed it rather quickly. And I mentioned it to him then, and it's been almost 3 years now, and they still have not fixed it. So yeah, during the scene, during the concert, it would always switch back and forth between the music is muffled or the singing and lyrics are muffled. And despite this being a video of me just rambling and goofing around, I am willing to give this movie another shot if two things happen. That being that someone or a bunch of people explain everything to me, Hatsune Miku, in colorful stage, and they release a dubbed version once the film hits Blu-ray, because I think watching the subbed version was part of my problem. The 2 times, including this time, I've went to watch an anime movie in the subbed version based off something I don't have any context to. I found it harder to understand what was going on when I had to read it, especially when something did not make sense to me. So word of advice, if you were doing that exact same thing, always go for the dubbed version, man. Which, in this case, I had no control over because there was only the subbed version. But to be honest, the moment I post this video, I'm going to get bombarded with 2 different types of comments. People mad at me for even talking about this when I have no context of what I'm talking about, and people do me a favor and explaining all of this to me. And for that, I say unto thee, go right ahead, man, because you tell me a lot about this, just give it a month and I will know everything colorful stage and Hatsune Miku. It was done once before, it could be done again. Now as for one legit negative I had as a newcomer, I thought this movie had way too many characters. It got to a point to where I couldn't remember a single one of their names, and they really started to all blend together for me. On a side note, since we always jump back and forth from the real world and the virtual world, the only time I could ever tell who is actually from the virtual world is anytime someone talked like this. Also, since I know nothing about this property, don't even ask if I've caught a single reference or anything, because I didn't. I mean, again, I know who Hatsune Miku is, but that's it. Actually, I take back what I said earlier about the whole thing with context with the Minecraft movie. This is more like if I went to go see Neza 2 without even thinking twice about watching the first one beforehand. Now you might be wondering if I have a legit opinion on this movie of any kind, and to that I say, don't ask me that. I honestly do not know if what I just watched is either good, bad, or somewhere in between. But based off the audience I saw this with, despite being dead fucking quiet through most of it, by the end of it, they seem to absolutely adore this film. And we haven't even talked about the best part about this whole experience watching this movie for me. So right before the movie started, a little thing came up saying, hey, after the movie's over, stay tuned for something special. And what was that special thing, you might ask? A mini fucking Hatsune Miku concert. Oh my god! I was going to be in bright and colorful hell. And it's not like the songs were bad or anything. From what I heard of them, because I kept zoning out, they seemed pretty good. But it got to a point where the audience, despite, again, being quiet through a majority of this, started losing their goddamn fucking minds to the point where I felt like the most out-of-place motherfucker in the theater. And yes, I did record a little small reaction to me in that theater, wondering why the fuck I hadn't got up and left yet. So, enjoy this. And on top of that, right before it started, a little voice comes on saying, "Hi, I'm Hatsune Miku. Did you enjoy my movie?" Great! Would you like to hear some of my songs in the form of a concert? Awesome! Here we go! Singing song, I don't know what they sang! And yes, the audience very much reacted to all of her questions and answered every single one of them as if we were all a bunch of grown-ass adults watching an episode of Dora the Explorer. I have no room to talk. And they even started cheering and shouting as it started, as if Jack Black just yelled out, "Chicken Jockey!" And yes, I may have leaned down in my seat and said, "Chicken Jockey," as they were cheering. No regrets for doing that. So, when it comes to a Miku Who Can't Sing, this is one I can really only recommend to fans because, as a newcomer, I was completely confused with every second of this. But as a newcomer, I can say that the movie has some pretty colors, the songs were enjoyable, I liked looking at it, and the colors were flying, which made them even more purta. Guys, I got nothing. I really don't have the slightest idea of what I just watched, and I probably shouldn't have saw it to begin with. But hey, what I can recommend is that you go see Sinners because it's fucking phenomenal. I love that movie. I honest to God really want to go see it again. As for Hatsune Miku, I am not going to grade this one at all because it just does not seem fair whatsoever. Look, if someone is just willing to explain all this to me and it really starts to make sense, I am willing to give this movie another shot when I get the chance. And if this is the first video of mine that you're seeing, hi, hello, my videos are usually not like this. I usually know what the hell I'm talking about. Also, on my way out, I also got this little flyer which is both a mini movie poster and on the backside has a code that you can use in the game. Here, take it. I'm hoping it's on the camera. I'm not going to use it. Do with it as you will. Final reminder, don't take any of this seriously. We're just having fun watching me ramble like a freaking madman, not understanding a goddamn ounce of this movie. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn the notification bell, and while you're at it, go follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Letterboxd at Trev's Movies, and I'll be back later with reviews in which I will know what I am talking about. And I'll see you then.